me start my speech. Have you ever paid a lot for a small mistake you made? In most cases, making a small mistake wouldn't cost me too much, but it was a completely different story when some bad luck kicks in. And here is a story about how a little mistake almost cost me more than $10,000 and So the story happened in an ordinary noon, and I borrowed a new bike and parked it beside Xiaofu to get some lunch. Before the midterm of my programming class. At that time, my head was full of the coding material, and I didn't actually pay attention to anything else. And when I left Xiaofu, I just left my bike there unreturned. So I just go to the midterm without noticing anything wrong. So the midterm was an open book midterm. The professor allowed us to look for comments online, and everything in the midterm went well until a notification popped up. It reads, "Dear U-Bike user, you still have an unreturned U-Bike, and it should be noted that the U-Bike charges in progressive rate. So please return it as soon as possible." So I was confused when I first saw this message. Then I suddenly realized that, I suddenly realized that I actually didn't return my U-Bike. And what's worse is that because I think it wouldn't take too much time to buy a lunch, so I just parked it illegally on the roadside of Xiaofu. So it was almost certain that Shuyan Abe had taken my away to Shuyan at that point. So I was like, dang. And I whispered to myself, so how can I retrieve my bike? And what's even worse is that it was the day before Introduction to Forest Biodiversity, which is 生活改 in Chinese. And it is a 5-day trip to NTU Experimental Forest. So if I couldn't retrieve my bike before train closes, my new bike will spend 5 days there, and it will charge me more than $10,000. So I just didn't know what to do at all. It was already 4:30 and train closes at 5. So then I told the TN that I had diarrhea, and so I left the classroom then as fast as I could towards Shuyan. But to my disappointment, when I reached there, it was already closed. And I was totally stunned, and I just didn't know what to do at all. I was so depressed and hopeless, and I just didn't know what to do at all. And not only didn't I retrieve my new bike, I also failed my midterm because I just quit it to retrieve my bike. And I think it was really ridiculous that I lost more than $10,000 and failed a subject just because I forgot to return my new bike. So, but however, I didn't want any of that to happen. So I asked any of my friends if any of them could help me retrieve my new bike next morning. To be honest, I hesitated for quite a long time before asking them because I thought that the request was just ridiculous and unreasonable. But luckily, one of my friends was willing and was available to help me at that time. And I just couldn't thank him more. He was like, oh dang, that was stupid, haha. But he still helped me, so I am very grateful for him. On the next morning, he retrieved my new bike for me, and I thought that I would still have to pay for like $1,000 After calling the customer services, they told me that I only need to pay $170, and I feel so relieved. Although $170 is still pretty much for a single ride of U-bike, but comparing to $10,000 or just a piece of cake. And as for the cooking test, I had no choice but to withdraw it. But luckily, there was still 2 weeks until the deadline of the course withdrawal date. So I didn't have to fail that. And in conclusion, I feel unlucky that I encountered so much bad thing just because I didn't return the U-bike. But I also feel lucky that I had a true friend that could help me when I need help the most. Thank you.